Hey, cuz, have you done any shopping on Val?
Have I done any shopping on Val Kilmer's site? No, not yet. Tell me all about his site.
Have you done any Valentine's shopping?
No, I don't have any women in my life who I'm romantically interested in,
Well, that may need to change.
who are romantically interested in me.
I think that needs to change.
I agree.
So, when you're ready, which Valentine's is right around the corner, you need to go to campfirepod.com, click on the Amazon link to the right, and make your purchases.
Why?
Because the show will make a small commission. Nothing extra's charged to you. It just shows your support to the show.
That's awesome. Thanks
I
for letting me
know.
know. And thanks for making me feel bad that I don't have a Valentine in my life.
We're going to change that today.
I certainly hope so.
Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family-oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now. Unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too. You know, this probably really isn't suitable for children, so.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Do you have any lyrics? I didn't
No,
write any
but
lyrics, and I know your
didn't
daughter.
either.
Hey, did you ever find out if she said for sure she doesn't like the singing at the beginning?
No, I need to write that down. And
Oh
ask
my
her.
goodness. Well, I won't be singing today just in case, and plus I don't have any lyrics, and I don't want to embarrass myself. So, welcome to the show, episode 30. Can you believe that?
30 and dirty.
Well, you might be dirty.
Yeah, maybe.
Episode 30. I'm 39. I'm dirty. I'm a dirty 39.
It's
What about
crazy. Little Luis comes out of the. I am 39. You're
Ooh.
at be 40.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so little Luis comes walking through my room. He comes walking through the room the other day, yesterday, and he's like, "Man, Mom, I didn't take a bath in 3 days." I was like, "That is disgusting." Gosh, how can
Wait, was he
kids do
bragging about that? Or was he just pointing
I
it
think
out
he
like,
was just amazed that he went 3 days without taking a bath or, a shower.
that's pretty gross, but I've been there.
I don't know how. I'm like, he's
I'm-
like, but I don't smell. I'm like, I'm not going to try to smell you, so.
You know, that's like when I was a kid, when Mom would say, "Hey, go brush your teeth." I would say, "But they're still white. I don't need to brush my teeth." And she would say, "You need to brush them anyway." And I would put up a fight. I was like, "But they're still white. What's the point of brushing your teeth unless they're not white?"
Okay. I cannot believe you brought up brushing your teeth. So this morning I get up and I go to brush my teeth. And I'm like, in a good mood. I got up early, getting ready for the show. I'm brushing, wash my face, and then, put the toothbrush back in the little cup holder. And it was not my toothbrush.
Oh. Oh, man, whose toothbrush was it?
It was Luis's toothbrush.
Your husband.
Yes.
Okay, well, look, I mean, I don't know how much more intimate you can be with your husband than to share his toothbrush.
You
Did
don't
you
know
tell
how
him about it?
weird. Yes, I'll come out of the bathroom and I'm like, oh, he's like, what? I was like, I just used your toothbrush.
What'd he say?
It's okay.
You're like,
Like,
it's
no,
okay
it's
for you
not.
because you get to have a little bit of my mouth now, but I had a bunch of yours.
Oh.
I'm sorry, because that's gross.
I know, it's very gross. I did a mouthwash with Clorox and vinegar.
Isn't it kind of like, it's not the same as like open mouth kissing your husband?
No. No, it's totally different.
Well, I know that kind of grosses you out too, right?
Yeah, because just think of like toothbrush
No, kissing your
bristles.
husband.
Oh, no. The toothbrush bristles, they pull out food.
They get under your gums and like get right
Yes.
in directly into your bloodstream. So now you have some of Luis's blood in your mouth.
Oh my gosh.
You're like a vampire. A toothbrush vampire.
I'm gonna start sparkling like on Twilight in the sunlight.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Speaking of keeping clean teeth and everything, because as a kid I hated brushing my teeth, but now it's something I do regularly. Obviously, I'm an
Yeah,
adult. I
you
understand.
have to.
Yeah, I understand the importance of it, but the main importance that I got out of it, I was 30 years old when I discovered really how important it was, because I used to brush my teeth in the morning and that's it, once a day.
Gross.
Hey, man, look, I'm admitting something personal here. I didn't fully understand. You don't judge me, okay? Just because now I
Okay.
believe in science. No, so I was 30 years old and I had just gotten insurance for my job, and this was the first time I'd ever gone to a dentist at 30 years old. You understand me?
Damn.
Yeah, so I was afraid. I was like, I don't know what they're going to find. I've never had my teeth professionally looked at. So I went, and it was, oh my goodness, I had such a crush on her. My hygienist was a little Vietnamese woman, so cute, adorable, just absolutely wonderful. And she cleaned my teeth, and I was waiting for the bad news. Oh, they X-rayed my teeth and everything. You know, full dental checkup, whatever you do. And she cleaned my teeth, and I was waiting for like a report of like cavities, and you're gonna need a root canal.
Root canal.
Yeah, the worst of the worst. And came back. The dentist came over to tell me, he looked at the X-rays and just how impressed he was with how strong my teeth were. And I made the joke of I give them a lot of exercise because I eat a lot, because I'm fat. But
Stop.
I was making that joke, but I think that joke went over their head. Like, exercise? How do you exercise your teeth? I'm like, I chew. Anyway, and then he gave me the report: 0 cavities and strong teeth. I was like, oh my goodness, 0 cavities at 30 years old, having never gone to a dentist and eating candy the way I ate, drinking sodas the way I used to drink, because I used to drink more soda
Yes.
than water, and I was so happy, and I thought, okay, well, I've been blessed and so lucky this long. Now I really have to start taking care of my teeth to make sure they stay this way. So I started brushing my teeth in the morning. I mean, I can't brush them in the morning. Then I started brushing them at night, and sometimes in the middle of the day. And then at the time I was working out a lot, so I'd go to the gym and I wore a mouth guard to protect my teeth when I would spar. Yeah, not. But when I would come home from the gym, I would have a nasty taste in my mouth because all that spit. Sometimes when I would get hit, my mouth would bleed a little bit, so that blood and everything. Hey, man, it's just what happened. It was totally worth it though. So sometimes I would brush my teeth up to 4 times a day. I might have been overbrushing, so I had to slow it down. I'm down to just 2 a day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And brushing at night helps me because it discourages me from eating after I brush my teeth. So
Oh, I use that too. If I brush my teeth at night, it's like, okay, that's it. No more food.
and now you're just picking your teeth.
I know.
You're on camera, right?
Yeah, I kind of do that on purpose.
I'm sure. I just hit my level. Technical difficulties.
Gosh,
Yeah,
by
so-
show 30, you should know better.
Shut up, man. I was trying to mute the thing so I could cough and clear my throat, but I accidentally hit the slider and turned my volume up, so now I'm not sure my levels are right. Anyway, I was going to say, for anyone listening to this podcast, there is now a video portion, or at least we're trying to keep a video portion of this on YouTube, and you can find that at youtube.com/campfyre. That's CAMPFYRE. So you can see what number 2 cousin I look like. As she mentioned, I'm almost 40, and you can see my hair thinning out, and it's really affecting me in a negative way.
Speaking of affecting in a negative way, I
Yes.
seen your older brother yesterday.
My much older brother, like
Like way
57,
old.
72, almost.
Yeah, like pushing retirement age.
Yeah, totally.
And we had a birthday party for one of our little cousins, Nicholas. And so before I got to the party, I had noticed that I had some gray hairs. I'm
Do you
like,
dye your
okay.
hair? Or are you planning on?
I do dye my hair, but not to cover the grays because unfortunately the dye does not cover them. Like it doesn't take Yeah.
Isn't that what dye is supposed to do? Or are you just
Not-
buying super cheap dye?
No, I go to a professional to dye my hair. To
Hey, look,
color my
here's how you
hair.
take care of it. You get one of these, and you just... I'm holding up a marker
That's
for those who
not
can't
gonna
see.
work. That looks like a dry eraser. I need a permanent marker.
It is a dry erase marker. That's the first thing that was near me. I don't have
So
don't have a
we're
permanent-
at the party, and your brother notices my
You
gray
mean your
hairs.
cousin?
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah, your
No, not
brother,
my brother, yeah.
notices
He
my gray
notices-
hairs.
Like this, like my gray hair?
Yeah, but it's not even like that.
You mean sexy?
Literally, he says, yeah, he says, "Damn, cuz, I can see your gray hair." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. No, but it's like one, and it's standing up like right there.
It's
I'm
calling
like,
attention to itself. It's like, here I am. I'm loud and proud.
one gray hair." I'm like, finally, he gave me such a hard time about it. I had to ask your beautiful little niece, Rosanna,
Rosanna?
yeah, if I looked old, and she was so kind and said no. I look
Who is
very
Rosanna?
young. Formerly known as Riri.
There's some change I'm not familiar with now. You might have to fill me in. Rosanna?
Yeah, she said something about her name is now going to be changed to Rosanna. So I just started calling her Rosanna.
All right, let's leave it at that. Anyway, so you asked her what?
If the gray hair made me look old. I mean, did I look old? Because your brother was just like really making me feel like crap over my one gray hair that he could see. And she was like, no. I was like, thanks, Rosanna.
Why? Okay, why Rosanna? I'm not getting this. Was
Yeah,
it just...
I don't know, because you need to reach out to her, and she no longer wants to be. I don't know. You probably need to talk to her.
I guess.
She wants a name change.
I'm not calling her Rosanna. I love my niece, but she has two names she can go by, her first or middle name, and neither one of those is Rosanna.
Well, I think she wants to change her first name, and so I just went with it. She said Rosanna, so she's Rosanna now.
All right. You know, I've had gray hair most of my life. I've had like a little patch or whatever that started and peppered throughout. So I was young at the time, so I never felt like it made me look or feel old just because I knew I was young. But when I started getting these gray hairs in my beard, they would just pop out randomly, and it made me look like a dirty old homeless man. And at least that's how I felt when I would see it. And I would pluck them at first, but then, you know, it just started coming out so much. I mean, look at this. I look like I have whiskers over here on my mustache. Shut up.
Hey, when I trim my beard,
Thank goodness. Your beard's thicker than mine. I'm jealous.
you should trim yours.
I remember in like 7th, 8th grade, you had a thicker mustache than me, and I was so jealous.
I know.
mean-
I felt like, how does one get that way? First, I was a boy as a
boy?
as a middle age, what,
A middle
8,
schooler?
9? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
that's
a
because you had a
boy.
short haircut, and you didn't. I mean, I don't know.
I'm like, I don't get it. Why would my mom do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Let's not get on that soapbox.
yeah, well, I was just going to say, the gray hairs in the beard are certainly finally starting to group together and be a little more consistent, uniform. So I'm
I
okay with
noticed
them
that
now.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
They're
I'm
very
waiting for like a
noticeable.
whole patch just to turn gray.
Yeah. Are you gonna trim up?
What do you mean?
Clean it up?
Eventually, maybe. I'm actually thinking about shaving it off.
I think maybe you should.
I haven't seen my face in so long. I don't remember how ugly I am because the beard covers most of.
Stop.
No, the beard covers most of that, and it makes me look and feel handsome.
Well, you can just clean it up. I was
No,
like,
I might-
cream it up.
I might shave it off, see what the state of my looks are, and then I can always let it grow back because I kind of like having a beard.
Yeah, I guess
guess
that's
you
true.
could-
But what if it starts getting like your head? The hair on your head.
You mean thinning out?
Yeah.
I don't think my beard's going to thin out.
Isn't that
But
crazy? The
you
hair
let me
grows in
finish.
the wrong places.
Can I finish my joke, please?
Yes.
All right. What I was going to say is I like having a beard. I guess you could say it's grown on me. You know what I mean? I'm really attached to it.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Hey.
Oh, goodness. So, I started school and
Yeah.
I'm taking a classroom class, and then I take an online class. And we had one of our first assignments was to read Beowulf.
You mean Beowulf?
Just Beowulf. I can't say it
You
because I
can't
had
say
to
it.
Google like half the damn words in the dang thing.
You didn't watch the Robert Zemeckis film?
Beowulf. Huh?
You didn't watch the Robert Zemeckis film?
No. What is that?
There's a movie based on the book called Beowulf, starring Angelina Jolie and
Beowulf.
some other people. It's a 3D CGI thing. I haven't seen it yet.
No, I don't get to watch that. I don't. Yeah, no. So, Beowulf, and it was like 77 pages, sections. Okay,
Uh-huh.
let me back up. It was 77 pages, broken up in sections.
Yes.
And so I get on the assignment, and it says, there's so many pages, but all the professor wanted us to do was to focus on these particular sections. And she gave out the sections. So why did me and my bright self for section 33, I went to page 33.
Oh, cuz.
So I do my little summary, which was just a paragraph, short paragraph. It was 6 to 8 sentences. Did it in MLA format, go to class. It was printed out, handed it to her. And so as a discussion in the class, she went over each section. And the first section was section 6, which was not on page 6.
Obviously.
And what she was doing was asking people, okay, who picked this section? Tell me why you picked it. So, thank God I had picked page 33. Well, not. So she kept going through and she's like, let's just get past all these pages. Okay, let's go to section 30. Well, 33 and 30 were on 2 different pages.
Okay.
So when we get to section 33, it's not what I wrote about.
Oh. Cuz.
Oh my gosh. I was so embarrassed. When she got to that section, she says, okay, who picked this section? I'm like, I ain't saying
You're
shit.
like, oh, you didn't. You're like, no, you didn't do that.
I was like, no. I'm just like sunk down in my chair. So when class was over, I went up to her and I was like, look, I kind of, I didn't understand completely. I guess I didn't, and I didn't realize I didn't understand what you meant by section. I did by page numbers. I said, so my summary may not look. She's like, I'll figure it out. I'm like, 0.
Oh, no. So you're making your teacher do your homework.
Yes.
Good move. I'm sure they're going to enjoy you. So what day of class was this, like the first, second, third day of class?
This was the 3rd class. My 3rd class that I
Way to
had.
make an impression, cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that teacher's going to remember you all right.
It was crazy. That was actually my school mishap.
I could see. I mean, that's a big mishap.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, so what about you? How was your week?
Well, last weekend I went to visit some friends because, check this out. My friend that I went to high school with, her oldest son is now joining the Army.
Dang.
And
That
I mean,
means
go ahead.
that means you have some old friends.
She's the same age as I am.
Dang.
Shut up. Your daughter's in college. She's old enough to join the army if she wanted to.
I know, because I'm just saying, I mean, I'm your same age right now. We're both the same age.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still a little bit older than you, and you always throw that in my face.
I
No,
know.
so yeah, her son is 19 years old, and he's wanted to join the military for a while now. She was in the Marines, and her husband was in the Marines. That's where they met. So I guess he's just military is in his blood. Her father was in the army. I don't know about Tim, her husband. I don't know if his family. I'm sure his family was in the military too. I'm not positive. But anyway, it's kind of in his blood, and he's wanted to do it for a long time. And she told him, go to college for a year, and then we'll talk about it then. And she saw that he just wasn't into it. The army is what he wanted to do. He wants to be a mechanic, work on Black Hawk helicopters.
Wow.
So yeah. So I mean, he knows exactly what he wants to do. So I show up at the house, and he answers the door, and I look at him, and he still looks so young.
Aww.
Like he's so baby faced, and I'm thinking about what he's going to look like 4 years from now when he. I think he wants to have a career in the army, so after 4 years he's probably going to re-enlist. But I'm just thinking after that first 4 years, how much is he going to mature and age and God, because this guy, he just looks so young still.
So innocent.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
They're gonna break him in. They're gonna get him some tough skin.
Yeah, and I was talking to her afterwards, and I was just asking if how she felt about it, and there's nothing she can do, but she's concerned for her son, obviously, but she can't hold him back. She has to share him with the world.
Dang,
so,
that's a lot. I can't believe. So you've been in this young man's life, his whole life. You have friends that you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm Uncle Eric to him, and I have my old videotapes. I have some video of him from when he was a baby, still in diapers, and we were like playing with him, trying to make him laugh and stuff like that. And now he's joining the army,
19.
and going to be a real man, going to be an American soldier.
Now it's all starting to make sense.
What do you mean?
All the gray hair.
Oh, shut up.
Not just you, me too. I mean, we're getting old.
I know, but you know what? I'm looking forward to my 40s. I think my 40s are going to be great. I really do.
I do too.
Yeah, it's your turn to talk, cuz I don't know if you know that.
I know, I did that on purpose. I don't know. I think about that all the time. Because they say 40s is like a peak year for people like us that are about to be 40.
Well, I think that's when women hit their sexual peak, but men, it's like around 18, so it might be better for you than for me, but
I don't know. You know who would be a good person to ask?
Who?
Your mom and my mom.
I don't know. What would you ask them?
Just the same question. Was your...
I don't know, you just made me squirm in my seat. I don't know if I would feel comfortable.
That's sick.
I said squirm. I had to move around, not squirt. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Yeah, so I've been on my ketogenic diet, and I went there. I knew I was going to cheat on my diet because they make egg rolls that are so delicious. I knew I couldn't pass them up, and I was going to allow myself this one cheat day. All right. So I get there, and in addition to the egg rolls I knew I was going to have, her husband Tim made some sort of potato soup, like the Italian style soup that you might get at Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Super, yeah, some sort like Toscano potato soup or something like that. It was super good. So I had 2 bowls.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, shut up.
2 bowls of carbs.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm allowed a cheat day from time to time. This had been 3 weeks on the program already. So I'm like, all right, this is a special occasion, but I'm not going to go overboard. I'm just going to have egg rolls, and now I'm going to have this soup. And then my other friend, Tram, I went to visit my friend Ewing, her sister Tram, who is not really known for her cooking or baking. She's getting better, but she made some cookies, and she asked me to try a cookie. And I wasn't I wasn't planning on eating cookies, but since I found out she made them, I was like, I'll be nice. I'll try one, and I'll let her know what I think. I ate one, and I told her, I said, I haven't had sugar in about 3 weeks now. No, low carbs, definitely no sugar. Don't be offended if it's like, too sweet or if I don't like it. She's like, no, just let me know what you think. So I bit into it. It was an oatmeal raisin cookie. And up front, I'm not a big fan of oatmeal cookies. I'm not a big fan of raisins in cookies. So I ate it, and cuz, I gotta tell you, honestly, it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
I must have, throughout the day, because I spent the most of the day there, I must have eaten more than a dozen cookies, maybe even 2, like easily 20 cookies.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, it was my cheat day.
How many cookies did she bake?
I think she said like 127 cookies.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it was some big number. But
and
hey,
you
I was
ate
proud
20 of them.
Maybe. Shut
More or
up.
less, about 20.
I have an eating problem, okay?
So do
I'm
I.
working.
Oh,
You gonna compare yours to my problem? Look at this problem. Look at his body.
because you
300
actually, I can tell that you've lost weight.
Maybe
I
it's
was
because
going to tell you that.
maybe it's because I'm wearing a tighter shirt today.
I don't know. You can tell. I think you look good.
See what I'm doing here? You see what I'm doing?
Gross.
I seen man boobies. They were big.
Why are you looking at my man boobies?
Because you're playing with your nips.
I was not. I was pointing out this area of my chest. Anyway, so the egg rolls that I knew I was going to cheat with, I have a problem with egg rolls. One time when we were still in high school, maybe early college, I had gone to their house when they were still living with their parents, and they had egg rolls. And this was my introduction to their egg rolls. This is when I fell in love with the egg rolls. I had dinner with them. I ate a modest amount because I'm embarrassed to eat like I normally do, especially in front of their parents. It's my one of my first dinners with them. And they had a bunch of egg rolls left over. It was like a plate with a stack about 3 or 4 high that just kind of formed like almost a pyramid shape, just like,
Yeah.
let me get in the camera so the camera can see. So like, a nice
A little
stack.
tear, yeah.
Yeah. So Jung, my friend, is washing dishes, and she said, you can have some more egg rolls if you want. And I was like, oh yeah, thank you. I was super excited. So I started eating, and they have a fish sauce that you can buy it in a jar, but they add more special ingredients, whatever,
Yeah.
more seasoning to it, and it's just so delicious. Kind of salty and tangy, but it's so good. So there I am as a teenager, just grabbing an egg roll, dipping it, pretty much swallowing the whole thing, watching TV while she's washing dishes. And next thing I know, she turns around, she's, Eric! I'm like, what? She's like, you ate all the egg rolls.
Now what are my parents going to eat?
'Cause I said, you said I could have as many as I wanted. I didn't know. It just kept going. They were so good.
You didn't say there was a limit.
Yeah, no limit. So just like that day, I kept grabbing a couple like I served a plate and I ate 4 or 5 egg rolls the first time. This is at the party, so back to modern times. Ate like 4 or 5 egg rolls, and then I would go back every now and then and grab a couple, and I'm like, it's my cheat day. I know it's carbs, but it's so good. And it was a bowl, like a good sized bowl that had them all, around the edges and then filled up in the more. So they were all standing up in the bowl. So I just grabbed from the center, just kept working my way out. And by the time I finished, I don't know how many they cooked, but by the time I finished, there was like maybe 10 or 12 that were left on the outside of the bowl because the middle part of the bowl I had already eaten through. What? So I weighed myself. I weighed myself before I left, and then I weighed myself the morning after. And I'm assuming this is water retention and the
Sodium,
carbs. Yeah, all that. I gained like 4 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
But
from one day.
I took a number twosie, and then I weighed myself again.
And you lost
and I
5.
I lost. No, shut up. I wish I lost 0.8 pounds.
Oh my gosh. So you had almost a pound of toozy in you.
I'm sure there was more than that, but that was just the first go.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I expelled almost a pound of waste, if you
That is
will.
disgusting. Well, shit, that was probably the 20 cookies you had.
Shut up. And then I thought to myself, wow, it's really important to poop, like in weight loss.
It is. You have to put out more than you take in.
You can't
that
put
how it
out more
goes?
than you take in. You'll
Is
die.
that how it goes? Well, like exercise,
Oh,
the pooping,
calorie-wise, yes. But
everything.
no,
yeah.
you can't put out more than you put in because
Because there
then
would
you'll
be
have
nothing to take out, to put out. Put it out.
Are you taking a math class this semester?
No, I'm saving that towards the end.
Okay, let's talk about incoming and outgoing when you take your math class, just so you can figure out like the sides of the equation must be equal at the very least. But in this case, you'll probably have less coming out than you have going in. Anyway, it's okay.
Gosh.
So they wanted me to spend the night, and I probably should have, but I didn't. I wasn't planning on that. I didn't have a change of clothes. I didn't bring my toothbrush to keep my cavity-free, strong teeth clean. So I just wasn't prepared. So I left around midnight, 12:30, something like that. And I stopped and got gas because I was almost out of gas. And I was like, man, I'm really tired. I need to take a nap. So I took a nap. This was already like 1:30 in the morning. What?
Crazy.
Shut
Crazy.
up. So I took a nap. I was expecting like 30, 45-minute nap. I don't know how long. It ended up being like an hour and a half or maybe closer to 2 hours because I woke up at like 3-something in the morning. And I was like,
my gosh.
I know. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I should have just stayed there because it's only like a 3-hour trip. And here I spent more than that. No, not more than I spent most of that trip already sleeping.
Sleep.
So I'm still 2 hours away from
Not
home. I'm still 2 hours away from home. So I head home at like 3-something in the morning from the gas station, the Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's, our favorite.
Yes, everybody
Clean
knows
bathrooms, yeah,
Buc-ee's.
all that stuff. So I'm heading home, and there's a small little town that I have to pass through to get back to Round Rock, Austin area. And it's like maybe 6 or 7 blocks wide, this town. And you're driving, you go from 70 to 55 and immediately to 35 after that 55 sign. I don't even know what that 55 sign is there. So I'm driving. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not paying attention really to the speed because I'm tired, And I get pulled over by a cop.
Do you tell you get out with your hands up
No, thank goodness.
and bend over?
For
I'm gonna search you
why?
now.
Bend over for what? So he pulls me over, and there's like some road construction stuff. So I have to find a place to pull over, and I'm like, what the heck am I being pulled over for? I roll down my driver's side window. I'm waiting for him to come up there, and then I hear a knock on my passenger window. I'm like, oh, what? So he's on the passenger side. I guess he didn't want to get hit by a car. I understand.
That's
So I roll
understandable.
down, so I roll down the window, and he's like, do you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, no, sir, I don't. He said, do you know how fast you were going? I said, no, sir, I don't. Which I should have just been like, wasn't speeding, that's for sure. But he said I was doing 50 in a 35.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, I know. And I'm just thinking, thank God I wasn't doing 70.
Oh, you were probably his first client of the day.
Yeah,
Of his day.
And he's questioning me, where are you going at this time of the morning? I'm like, well, I'm going home. I left my friend's house. He said, where were you? I'm like, I was in Alvin. He said, where's that? I said, asking me, I don't know. I'm bad with directions. Like, I think it's just south of Houston. I went to visit some friends and I had to throw in there real fast. Her son is joining the Army, and she was having a going away party, so I wanted to go say goodbye, thinking that might buy something,
Yeah. And I keep myself surrounded by good people
Yeah,
that support our
exactly.
country.
Exactly, because a lot of
and
a
our
lot of police,
servicemen.
yeah, a lot of police are former military, and I thought that might buy a little favoritism. It did.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He was like, it's getting near the end of the month. I need to reach my quota. You're going to be part of that quota.
Thank
So-
you for speeding.
Yeah. So he takes my license and stuff. I can't find my insurance.
Oh,
I have I have so many expired insurance cards in my freaking little the little wallet thing that I keep it in. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But luckily we live in the 21st century. So I asked him, I was like, do you accept it on the phone through the app? And he's like, yeah. So I look it up. I had to download a new version of the newest version of the app because I had an old version that wasn't compatible with the operating system on my phone. I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm downloading that while he's checking my license.
Is that your iPhone 2?
Yeah, it's on my iPhone. What do you mean?
2?
Oh, shut up. I have an iPhone 5C. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just for that.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah,
This disgusts me. Then I just hit the microphone by accident. So
yeah, quit scratching your face. So anyway, I finally get that, and I have to log in. I'm like, oh, what's my login? Thank God I remembered it. I get logged in, finally get it. He's checking he's running my background or whatever. I hope he realizes it's been like close to a decade since I got my last speeding ticket. So I'm hoping he'll give me a warning. He comes back, checks my phone, checks the insurance, and then gives me a ticket. And he tells me, I put you down for 45 and a 35 so it wouldn't be so expensive. And what do I say? Like an idiot? Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your service, officer.
Thank you for your kindness in giving me a ticket instead of a warning, since I have a flawless driving record for the past 10 years or so.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Defensive driving.
Defensive driving, yes.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then I called.
Gosh.
I tried calling their courthouse to get it all set up. And, of course, I called on a Saturday
it's
when
not
I'm
there
not.
Yet.
Yeah, I'm not working. I call on a Saturday, and no one's there because they're only open Monday through Friday. They're open from like 8 till 5, but they only answer the phones between 8 and 12 and 1 and 4.
Oh my gosh.
They have their 1 hour lunch break, and then whatever they do an hour before they get off, but they're not answering the phones during that last hour. So, yeah.
That's the kind of job we need.
I guess.
No, don't. I don't need that job.
I don't think I'd like working in a municipal court in a small town that's about 6 or 7 blocks wide.
You have a lot of angry people going in there.
Yeah.
I was going 45 and a 40.
I know. And then, like, the next mile of the road, it goes up to 40. Like 2 blocks, it's up to 40.
And then 75.
Yeah, and then a couple blocks right after that. And I think you know what town it is. I'm not going to say it, just... Mm-hmm. But I think you know what town it is. Small little town. Mm-hmm. Looks like the backdrop of a studio. They have like these storefronts that look like they're old, but they're still pretty new. That have murals painted on the side that look like an old Norman Rockwell style painting. But
yeah.
A couple blocks down from that is an old mechanic's garage that's been converted to a CrossFit gym. So it's not. It's like a mixture of. It's like a mixture of contemporary working class with fake nostalgic Americana.
Yeah, I know this. I know the city, the little
town. Yeah. Okay. So just so you know.
Yeah, it's right by, right? Anyway. So
yeah, it's right by there.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, cuz.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. I want you to know that.
Oh, gosh. That's too funny. It's too funny. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't you have some safety tips you wanted to share, damn it?
Safety tips. Oh, yeah. Because, the flu is going around.
Yeah.
And... we went to Nicholas's birthday party yesterday.
Nicholas is who?
Nicholas is our little cousin, Felicia's son.
I know. Okay. I just wanted you to clarify that for the audience. I know who he is. Although when you texted me and said I'm at Nicholas's birthday party, I'm like, which one's Nicholas?
They're growing so much. I mean, these kids, it's like crazy. But let me back up a little bit. The flu is like, we all know if you've been on the
Oops, I just turned off my iPad and it made a noise. I'm sorry, audience. So the flu, yes.
It's like a really bad epidemic right now.
Oh, yeah. I've heard like people are dying from it.
Yes. And there's people that for some reason think that they still have to be out in stores.
You mean while they're sick with the flu?
While they're sick with the flu. And people at work.
I hate those people. But I'm going to be honest, when I get sick, I'm like, I can fight through this, and I hate missing work, so I would probably be one of those assholes with the flu at work.
Right. Well, that's why I wanted to talk about the symptoms and things. Like, you know, of course, you know, if you have fever, that's always a sign of an infection, and you should stay home.
What if you have dance fever?
Well, that is also contagious. I guarantee you.
I feel like you shouldn't stay home when you have
fever.
dance fever, though.
No, you shouldn't, but it just depends if you have any of these other symptoms.
Okay, what are the other symptoms?
Which I have a feeling that you probably would get these symptoms with dance fever. Difficulty.
By the way, I know you're trying to do a good public service, but I'm afraid this is going to be boring, so I'm going to be making fun of everything you say.
No, if you have difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, that can come
dance
along
fever,
with dance
yeah.
fever.
Or just being fat. Like trying to walk up the stairs. I think I have the flu walking up the stairs.
This one is pain or pressure in the chest or abdomen.
Well, I ate some beans the other day. Maybe that's what it is.
Sudden dizziness, confusion, severe or persistent vomiting. That's if you drink while you're dance fever. No, I mean, seriously, I know it seems boring and that's the paper folding up, but people need to just...
It seems so boring.
No,
I don't think anyone's like, hang on, wait, let me just say this. I don't think anyone out there's like, you know what? I need to find out about the latest health scare. I'm going to tune into the N2P podcast.
No, but we have listeners, and this is where I'm going with this. I'll use my dear mother as an example.
You have a mother who's a deer?
I'll call her, and she's like, "Oh, I
feel."
Wait,
hang on, whoa, don't go past this. What does your human mother think of that?
She thinks it's ridiculous. You made me forget what I was going to say. Oh,
your dear mother.
She might have something that's bothering her,
like Lyme disease,
some type of sickness. No,
from a tick.
And I'm like, well, geez, you have all, and I'll like repeat her symptoms, which sound like, you know, deathly ill symptoms. And she's like, no, I'll just wait. If I feel, you know, any worse, then I'll go to the hospital.
Don't forget about hunting season too.
No. She's like, if I feel any worse, I'll go to the hospital. Okay. All right. Just, you know, if you feel like you might pass out because you can't breathe and you're
be sure
going
and drive
numb
yourself to the
one
hospital.
side.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And watch out for, be careful with your antlers too.
I just think that you and anybody that's listening, if you're sick, don't take it lightly, especially because the flu is going around so much that you should be checked.
So no bullshit. Can you run through the symptoms of the flu again, and I won't make fun of them this time? No,
there was a guy that actually passed away. A young 22-year-old Hispanic had flu-like symptoms. Went to the hospital, to my understanding, like 2 or 3 different times. They released him, and then one of the days that he was released, 3 o'clock in the morning, he was gone. They had to call an ambulance to his house. He'd passed away.
Wow.
Yes.
And he was in his 20s, you said?
He was 22 years old.
Dang. So you'd think someone at that age would be strong enough to fight off a virus like the flu, but it's like a super flu or something going around, right?
Right. So you know, I didn't want to like throw in something like sad, but it's so serious that, I mean, any sickness should be taken serious. It shouldn't be taken lightly. Even if your mother's a deer, you should.
Would you call my mama
a deer? Even if your mother's a deer mother. A mother deer.
Well, I guess that counts as a news segment, so let me just give it a little bit of... Oh, wrong news. How about... That sounds like news.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Flu in You. It's actually a brochure that I was given.
Oh. So you didn't come up with that clever title yourself?
No, that's why I'm citing where it came from. It came from the CDC. Isn't that the
Center for Disease Control.
Yeah, yeah.
I know this from watching The Walking Dead.
Oh, well, yep, those people. The ones that made The Walking Dead.
So watch out for the zombie flu, people. It's
Yes.
coming for you.
Oh.
Well, thanks for the health update.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
And thanks for bumming me out too.
Oh, no, listen to this. Speaking of zombies, I don't really know what we were talking about, but it was a home from school ride in the car.
Okay.
And we were talking about, I think, like, if the refineries in Beaumont and everything, and Luis, my son, was asking questions about something about, like, he made a comment of Beaumont being like one of the first places to go because of the refineries if we were to come under some form of attack. And I was like, well, yeah, that's what they made us like. Oh, no. He said there's nothing to do in Beaumont. And I said, well, yeah,
Which
there
is
is.
right. I grew up there. There's really nothing to do there.
No, but
except go to Houston.
Yeah, he's like, there's nobody in Beaumont. There's nothing to do in Beaumont. I was like, no, there's tons of things to do and there's tons of people. It just depends. I said, why do you think they made all these refineries? I said, eventually the chemicals are going to be released and we're all going to turn into zombies. Are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? I was like, no, I'm serious. What do you think? We are surrounded by refineries and the chemicals that they're putting out in the air. Eventually we're going to turn into zombies and we're going to be a community of zombies.
How old is your son now?
He's 13. Wait, I said, we're going to get deformed and we're going to like grow things on us and we're not going to be the same. I said, so
you'll be mutant zombies. This is a new genre. New subgenre.
Yeah, I was like
this.
we're going to be something one day.
Was he able to sleep that night? Did he sleep okay?
I think I did freak him out a little bit.
Yeah. Poisoning his 13-year-old mind. He might be the next Stephen King. You know what? Keep poisoning his mind with these scary scenarios. I want to see what he comes up with. I mean, if he survives.
That's so wrong. Yeah,
well, I mean, look, let's go over it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say he plays like all these zombie things on the PlayStation, so he thinks that he's.
I thought you were
going
to say he plays football. So I was going to say he already has traumatic brain injury. You're feeling what's left of his damaged brain with these stories of zombieism and what's to come in our community, and now you're letting him loose on society. Cause what are you doing?
I don't know. I think I'm a total failure.
I
can't even get my assignment right in English, so.
I know you don't know the difference between a page number and a section.
Oh boy, I felt so stupid.
And you expect to shit out more than you eat. How are you going to do that unless you start losing organs?
Oh, guys, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh my goodness. What's next? What are we doing?
Well, I guess since we're all, we're talking about all these wrong things and organs and stuff, I have some more sad news.
Lay it on me.
So my mom comes by the other day and she's like, you want to go to the store? I'm like, well, not really. Because I don't have any money to be spending.
Yeah.
But she convinced me. And she was like, well, we'll drop Priscilla off at work. I'm like, cool. Yeah, sounds like a great idea. So on the way, I told her that.
So is this your mother who's a deer or your mother who's a human? Your dear mother.
My dear mother. That day, I had an assignment for another class, and I had to take a picture of myself and upload it to the Blackboard. And you know how I am with pictures and selfies. Like, I have the absolute hardest time because I have a lazy eye, and everything just seems so.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep that lazy eye around. I'd make it go to work or pay some rent or something. I
can't tell it what to do. It's just there. It won't do much.
By the way, you are terrible at selfies. Your sister is a selfie pro. I'm talking about Andrea here.
I know.
And you are such an amateur. I would be embarrassed to have you as a sister if I was her with the selfie contest because it's just awful.
So I stayed in my room that day that my mom and I went to the store earlier. I had stayed in my room because I had to take pictures of myself to upload, and I swear I went through like 50. So
Did it have to be a selfie, or could you have had someone else take the picture for you?
I could have had someone else take the picture, but it would have been the same thing. Because my phone is set to where I can, it like senses my hand, and I don't have to hold the phone. I can just set it up somewhere and it will take the picture by itself. It has like a little timer on it. Anyway, so as I'm going through these 50 pictures that I've taken of myself, I noticed that my right side of my mouth kind of has like a little, like it has a...
Is it crooked?
Yeah.
It droops down a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm like, why does it do that? And I probably need to get it checked out. But anyway, so we're in the car, fast forward to taking Priscilla to work and me going to the store with my mom. And I'm telling her, I was like, I have a lazy eye, but I also noticed that my mouth is crooked on my right side. And she's like, oh, really? Well, you know that I had to have y'all tested for that when y'all were younger. And Loopy had it, and they were like mini strokes. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
What? A stroke as a child?
I was like, so yeah. I was like, so I had a stroke when she starts laughing. No, but that's what they are. And da 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 da. And I'm like, so I'm a stroke.
She said you had a mini stroke when you were a kid. Your left side was paralyzed, but you're all right now.
I was like, why do you just now tell me that I had a stroke when I was little?
That's probably something you should have mentioned to your doctor years ago. And now you're just finding out?
I'm sorry, at the mic. She said that, well, yeah, Dr. Colbert was y'all's doctor. And I'm like, well, where is this in my medical records? My history when I fill out forms, have you ever had a stroke? No. Now I have to put yes.
You're like, it was a little one, though. It doesn't really count.
They were mini strokes.
So how do you have a mini stroke as a child? I don't get this. What is?
I haven't really fact checked her yet. So.
All right, because the one thing we've learned from this show is never fact check, right?
Right. So yeah, it was just, I thought, mother.
But you know what? Now that you bring that up, and I'm thinking about it, you definitely did not have a stroke. Your mom misunderstood something or is making this up. She's like how you told the zombie story to your son. She's giving you this stroke story. I don't buy it.
I don't understand why she would do that. I told her I was going to talk to you about it.
Oh, you don't understand why she would do that? Remember the story about if you hit your mother, your hand was going to dry up and fall off?
I've never hit my mother.
Have you ever hit your dear mother?
No, it's probably all those times, like I said before, where I'd pick her hand up and shake it, wave it. Stop it!
So did y'all go to the store? Did y'all get anything? Anything cool?
We went to the store and
you waited for her to.
I bought more clothes.
You waited for her to bend over to pick something up off the bottom shelf, and you went, "Dear mother!" No, nothing like that.
No, but that would be so funny. No, I was like, Mother, I was like, I have to go.
I love embarrassing your mom.
I know. We're leaving. And she loads up her stuff and she spends maybe $20, $30. And of course she's telling me, you can't pass that up. You need to get that. And I'm like, but Ma, I really don't need, 2 more little jackets. I said, I really just like this one. You cannot pass that up. So I was like, okay, so.
She forced you to buy something you didn't want to buy?
Pretty much. But I've worn both things already, so.
At the same time?
No. And then I felt bad, bringing the bag of things into the house. I had to put it in the trunk of my car and wait for Luis to go somewhere. Right?
Why?
Because they're working on the house and I don't have any money and he's spending money on the house. And how bad does that look by me not helping him with anything in the house? And I come home with a bag full of...
It makes you look like a selfish little brat.
That's why I just left it in the car. He wouldn't tell me.
So you're hiding the fact that you're a selfish little brat.
Well, he'll notice. He's like, is that new? or, where'd you get that? I was like, that's old. I bought it a long time ago.
Like a week ago. God, where were you last week when it was brand new? Why didn't you notice it then? Don't you love me anymore? I know how you work. You turn the whole thing around. You're twisted like that.
Oh, gosh. It was funny. We're going to, anyway. Well, we're supposed to be taking a trip soon. And the other day, he's like, do you need to go buy, like, clothes or anything for the trip? I was like, nah, I'm good. So he knows, like, if I shop, I like super bargain shop. I'm not going to pay. I mean, I bought a dress for next summer for like, well, this summer coming, but it was like $4.95.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
You can't pass that up.
I know. Like the 2 extra little jackets that I bought.
Exactly. You couldn't pass them up. Let me tell you something. I heard a saying a long time ago. That person can go broke saving all that money.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Next time you find something you can't pass up.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, I'm done because...
Yeah, I think I'm done too. We didn't get to everything we wanted to talk to you about, but we have stuff to do.
I'm done. Oh, I didn't give my disclosure, but fans and listeners, if there's any background noise, it's because my house is still being worked on.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, if there's any background noise, it's because my house is haunted right now.
No, don't say that. The kids are watching The Conjuring. Is that how you say it?
That? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like watching little bits and pieces of it, and I'm like, oh, hell no.
That's a good movie.
That's
I really
like a
enjoyed
true
that.
story.
Well, look, you got to be wary of how Hollywood takes a true story and puts its Hollywood spin on it. As much as I would like for that to be a true story because it's so scary and stuff like that, it's a movie. I watch it as a movie and separate whatever might have happened in real life from it. But forgetting the true story or whatever, just as a movie, that's a good, solid, like haunted house ghost story movie that's really creepy, really scary. The kind of scary that stays with you when you're through with the movie, you're scared to turn the lights out. That's what I want in a good quality horror movie.
Yeah, no. I think we've talked about this before. There was too many scary late nights back in the day living in a big old house or hearing the horrible, scary stories that we would get, that they would tell us. Our aunts and grandma would tell us.
Yeah, like you would hear the footsteps coming down the hallway, and it was like,
and there was
like
nothing there.
It was like hooves, and you're like, oh my goodness, is this a devil's goat hooves? And then you peek out the door and you realize it's your dear mother with her deer hooves. And you're like, Mom, what are you doing up so late? Go back outside. You're not even allowed in the house. You might have ticks. Like that kind of scary?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look, we got to wrap this one up.
Yeah, we got to. All right, thanks for listening. Please, if you're going to do any shopping on Amazon, please go to campfirepod.com and click on the Amazon link on the right side of the website. It's an affiliate link for us. Anything you buy, we make a small commission off, and you don't get charged any extra. So come on, do us that favor. That's campfirepod.com, campfyrepod.com. You want to sing us out, cuz?
Probably not, because I'm not good with lyrics.
Or
I
words
only
in
sing
general?
in the car. Yeah, words either. Yeah. Stop. No good words.
No good words I can't say, but I was raised by a deer, so how do you expect me to speak your language properly? Are you gonna eat that grass right there? 'Cause it looks delicious. I might just gnaw on it a little bit, but
Leave my dear mother alone.
I'm gonna make, oh, you know what? Give her the antlers that you bought for the Christmas party and take a picture of her like that.
Oh, gosh. She'd be like,
yeah.
stop it.
Well,
Don't
thank you
do
everyone
that.
for visiting the N2P podcast, listening to episode number 30, Dirty
30 and dirty.
30 and dirty, as we try and say goodbye. So have a wonderful week. Please enjoy yourself. Spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Don't work too hard. Make sure you play as hard as you work and just enjoy life, right?
Yes. Be safe.
And next time you eat veal, just remember that might have been someone's mother.
And remember, the flu in you.
Thanks for bumming me out again. Don't get the flu because you might die. Thanks, cuz.
Safety precautions.
Goodbye.